Lean is all about increasing the capacity of your processes, and what that means is a focus on getting done the deliverables of your process. Instead of looking at efficiency as an individual step-by-step process as to how do we make one step faster, we look at how do we make the entire process faster. And so Lean is about increasing the efficiency, but more from a throughput or a deliverable perspective as opposed to how fast any one individual step goes. We want to make sure every step is operating at an optimal performance level, but at the same time they all have to be aligned, and one of the terms we use is level loaded in order to make an increase in the overall process speed. Benefits of Lean, as I mentioned before, the increased capacity in a process, being able to get more done in the time that you have with the resources that you have. So as businesses look to grow, being able to make sure that those top line dollars ultimately fall down to the bottom line, Lean helps organizations in that regard. If you can get more done with the resources you have, you build capacity, you then fill in that capacity with new growth, with new opportunities, and see more of those top line dollars translate to the bottom line. As with any initiative, management and leadership commitment is essential for a lean project, for a lean culture to be adopted within an organization. And I like to take that one step farther and say, not only must leadership be committed, they need to understand what it is they're committing to. Some of the principles of lean can be a bit counterintuitive. It takes some practice, it takes some experience to understand that we do have to look at the ways and methods in which we operate a little bit differently than what we may have done in the past. And so in order to stay committed to a lean engagement or begin that commitment process, management has to have an understanding of what lean is all about. That involves training, it involves going through some examples, some case studies, learning from other lean organizations in order to make that commitment to see through that the lean projects get executed as they should. First of all, especially today in most organizations, if you were to ask them, do you have time to implement a new initiative or go through training, especially in the areas of lean, the answer you get is, we don't have time to take that on. And my response to that would be, well, you can either take the time now and build and save time later, or you can say you don't have time now and you'll waste multiples of that time down the road. Lean really, it is all about taking a step back, seeing what you're doing in your organization, finding where the waste is, and then implementing solutions to remove that waste and focus on value. And in my opinion, now is the perfect time to do that. And if you feel like you're in a vicious cycle of you don't have time, you'll always be in that. You'll never get yourself out of that unless you find that time. Take that time today, take a step back and improve. First of all, there has to be an understanding, an observation that there are some ways that we can improve what we do internally to better serve our clients. To if you have issues with turnaround time, if your deliverables continue to be delayed, if you find yourself engagements expanding in terms of time spent on the job, if you feel like you're never adding the value that you want to your customers, to your client engagements, those are signs that there's probably some opportunity for lean. And once you have observed that within your organization and see that there's opportunity, the very first step needs to be some form of training for both the management team in order to commit and understand the process, as well as for the employee group as a whole, so that way you can get them excited about the opportunities that lean presents, not only for their clients, but also for themselves and their own internal work processes. There's tremendous opportunity, in my opinion, for CPAs to take on more of that trusted advisor role that we so often talk about in this profession. And lean is a great tool to have in your toolkit to help in those conversations and in those consulting opportunities with your clients. Just as your businesses may be going through an opportunity to improve your processes, your clients' businesses are the same way, and they need to be focused on their customer value, understanding that they need to be removing waste from their organizations. They need to be innovating and finding time to innovate and systematize that innovation process. And I think there's no one better than CPAs to be that trusted advisor. And as I said, that's a great tool in the toolkit to have is some knowledge of lean to have those discussions with the clients.